My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived 2 deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Cape Mount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Cess, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
The ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me.
Friends cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot keep electing and selecting the same kinds of leaders and electing new leaders who know how we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how care workers, people who actually do the work, we need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure.
Bati, Elizana coming, Bati, Zekwe, CPP, Zekwe, Charlie BRUMSKINE, Zekwe, I want, za. Bati house. Turn up the road, well. My Liberian people, who you want? Our market women crying, who you want? Our Yana boys are crying, who you want? Zoba. Handkerchief. Take out your white handkerchief. Let's go, everybody sing on fire. Look how can they say that coming where we want? But me can't they come in where we want? Baby, like can't they come in where we want? Nima can't they come in where we want? Bassa can't they that come in where we want? Kema can't they that come in where we want? Bobo we there, I say that come in where we want. Regular can't they that come in where we want? Musa Belete, I say who you want? Mama Teresa comes, who you want? Ah, well, Adebe.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning. Today is Monday. Today is Monday, a beautiful day, a bright day. We'll be having a good show today, and I'm waiting for studio. And okay, I see Siriki has just and
We have the host on now.
okay,
I want to say thank you to all of you. This is the General Show. This is Siliki Kuma, co-host, and you have Mr. Monique Kishen, and Arthur here is our producer. And so I had to bring another fascinating show here this afternoon and this morning for those of you who are watching us online in the United States. And so let's go to the host, Mr. Monique Kishen. Good afternoon from my end, and good
yeah,
morning.
good afternoon and good morning to those of you watching us by the way of Facebook. And I want to say, Ato, how are you? How was your weekend, Ato?
I'm okay. My weekend was fine, Mr. Kishin. How yours?
Thank you. Everything was good. And to those of you listening by the rate of radio, we say good afternoon. I hope we have a good show today. And during the weekend, my daughter. I had a graduation cookout for my daughter, so I was so busy and going up and down. But that is over with today. She'll be going to college today, so I got another long day. But for those of you who listen, they will be having a very good show. Please open your minds. And we're into the campaign season. As you can see, we got 50 more days. 50 more days to go. We'll be casting the first ballot. So I expect by this time to know who you want to support, who you are going to support. I don't know. There should be no reason for you to be in doubt because I'm sure you listen today to one of our greatest politicians right now, the best, and Sidiki will go in details with that. Mr. Cummings was in the studio, and as usual, he always performed his best. He always stick to the message. He always tell the Liberian people what his plans are and what he going to do, what we can do together as people. And he always accept all type of questions. He never runs from any question. So that is what we're talking about. So Sidiki, Sidiki,
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Kishen? Yeah.
can you just tell me today how was the standard bearer interaction into the studio today? Can you just let me know, please?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, because the reason I'm saying that the feedback from the colors, was all amazing, very impressive, and he laid out what he intended to do for the Liberian people, and there were a lot of questions, and he was able to answer to the best of his knowledge. But one thing Mr. Kumi stressed on today was investing in the economy of our country, and which he described as being his era. And Mr. Kumis always talk about this. That everybody get an era. Some people era is to play football. Some people era is to go to the garage. Some people era is to in different field. So for him, he said fixing the economy, providing job for the Liberian people. That is his era. And so if the Liberian people, which we know very well that this message is resonating with our people, if we gave him the opportunity to serve us, he's actually going to invest in the economy so that the businesses can be moving, so that Liberians can get job, so that we, the young people, can necessarily depend on government job or beyond politicians. And these are some of the things. And he also encouraged the journalists who are interviewing him to call other candidates to ask them the same question they are asking him, because it is very important. People don't want to ask people what they will do, but we try to be sentimental and selective in the way we ask questions any kind of time. Mr. Cummings challenged the two hosts today. And interestingly, the UP people will be here today by 3 o'clock, and we will be, maybe we'll try to call into and ask, and we'll listen. The way this man lay out things, the way he explained what he's going to do, what he have done, is so amazing. And that's why you saw people today from Lofa, Nimba, all around the country were calling in, expressing that gratitude to Mr. Cummings, for being on top of the issue, knowing what the country is faced with. And at the end of the day, it was a good show because almost all the callers are calling. I think there was just one caller from Margibi who had something to say. And it was a question, by the way. And Mr. Kumi tried to clarify that how many jobs he provided. And Mr. Kumi clarified that he actually provided, but the job he provided at the level of Coca-Cola was based on that it should be qualified. You know, people will not give you job because you're Liberian, because you're Ghanaian, because you're Nigerian, or because you're African. You should be competent. You should be able to do the job, and based on that, you were giving people job at the level of Coca-Cola. And he was right. And that's the same reason trying to bring it. Simply because you're from Maryland, or you're Grumman, or Kuma, or Mandingo man, or Pele man, or Paso man, then you're going to get a job in early school government. And he stressed on it. He said, look, even the CPP people, I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. He said the people who are supporting us today, if we win the presidency, if you are qualified, you get a job. If you're not qualified, we'll provide opportunity where you can be trained, you can get your qualification to have a job. Because you're supporting us today, so we'll come to the leaders of the country, we should pay you a job, even though you are not set, you are not, how they call it, you don't qualify for the job. You say this is not the culture we want. And the action about, the gossip that are always on Facebook about the former president supporting him, Ellen Johnson, Mr. Commissioner, look, I wish the former president supporting me. He said, I welcome that. I welcome everybody's support, which is right. He can go further. The journalists go further by asking, are you going to audit the past government and the present government? He said, look, we'll invest in the institution that should be doing that. He said, I, as president, will not tell the institution, go and audit the president. No. He said, we'll invest in the institution that the LCC, and other, the GSA and other institutions that are responsible to other people will invest in it, will make them independent. If they are doing a work, if the fact lead to anybody, whether the former president, Joseph Walker or George Weah, then that person will be audited. He said, but I'm single-headed as a president will not tell the people who are doing a job to tell them, say, go and audit this person. So I will not do that. And this is how it should be. People target people for nothing. But this is not what Mr. Cummings is trying to do. It was a very nice, interaction this morning. And the Liberian people actually called in to respond in a very resonating form. And tomorrow will be a health walk on tomorrow in Banonville Estate. Right after that, Mr. Cummings will do a walk, about 4 to 5 hours walk in District number 10 Old distributing flyers. And we encourage everybody watching us to be on the Old Road tomorrow because it's going to be a long day. Because it will be from door to door, from community to community, and like we said to you all sometime last week, like this game, the moment we name our campaign, we are moving forward. We're not resting. And so beginning tomorrow, you'll be in district number 10, where we'll be moving from house to house, community to community, distributing flyers, talking to our people, sitting down with them, know what they are faced with, and so that when this man get there tomorrow, he can know what are some of the things the Liberian people are faced with. And so that he can be able to solve some of the things. But the interview this morning was great, Mr. Kishin. It was really, very great. Very impressive.
Thank you, Sidiki. That was good. I watched it myself. And, Mr. Cummings, he's just the most consistent Liberian politician when it comes to his platform. When it comes to his platform. And he always say this concerning Sidiki, I don't know. I hear everything he's talking. Okay. Like he's very consistent when it comes to his platform, and especially how people always say why and what and how, but he always stress on the how, what he's going to be doing, and how he would do it, and where we're going to get the money from. And he always used this word where he said we do not choose our tribe, our religion, or our gender, or our gender. So that means Liberians should understand there's certain things that you can't get away with. So you are a Liberian, whether you Muslim, Christian, Baha'i, atheist, or whatsoever, you are a Liberian fresh. Whether you Pele, Global, Mana, you are a Liberian. So there should be nothing can stop you, and nobody should deprive you from getting what you're supposed to get. And he talked about this job creation. And Mr. Cummings always say that infrastructure or better infrastructure, you create jobs. Government there to create the avenues for companies to come in the country to create jobs. But all these things are not happening right now. So Mr. Cummings is very, very serious about it. His priority when it comes to electricity, good drinking water, internet connectivity, which he broke it down. He said, we get a good drinking water today, we may kill typhoid or diarrhea. If we get a good internet system in Liberia, you will have a Liberian in America that will be able to teach our children math, science, or whatsoever, and through Zoom, because other countries are doing it. That is why we need a better internet in our country. And then he talked about healthcare. He talked about the private sector. The private sector is what create jobs, but you got to help the private sectors. He talked about small businesses. So he continued to speak this message to the people and tell us, listen, this is what we can do as a nation. Certain things government must help. We need clinics, we need government schools, like the MCC, supposed to be fully supported by the government. Tottenham High, all these schools. But today, everybody who in government building schools and to do their own business. So Mr. Cummings is the most consistent guy. He have told us over and over what his government will do, and it's resonating with the people. So Liberians, if you're listening to me, we cannot vote for popularity. Popularity have taken us nowhere. Only in Liberia we talk about popularity. Popularity and leadership is not popularity contest. If you want to be popular, you go do a beauty pageant. If you go play sports. But when it comes to real business, to lead, it's not on popularity. It's not how well you popular. No, it's how well you can deliver. So please, I beg you, their popularity, it carry us nowhere. Nowhere in the world you say the man is popular. Yes, if you're popular because of your leadership, it's better. Be popular in a leadership. So, this man is a good leader. Everybody knows him. Look at Paul Kagame. Nobody knew him, but when he became a good leader, the entire world talk about Paul Kagame. You want to be a popular guy, then go dance and go play music. But we're talking about real business. We're talking about the lives of the people. We're talking about people getting jobs. We're talking about mother and fathers whether they can support their family. That is what we're talking about. So Mr. Cummings is the best choice. The CPP is the best choice because we are the only people giving you a platform that will work. We are not perfect people, but we are very honest. The leadership of CPP, headed by Mr. Cummings, very, very honest to us to tell us, say that, listen, we must work hard. If you want to enjoy Liberia, you should work hard. Even if you're not qualified, we will train you. That's what a beautiful country, that's what a good leader will do. Say, listen, we know that you're not qualified, but we will train you that you will be able to be part of the system. We're not going to leave you. That is why Mr. Cummings talk about education. We must train our teachers. We must do everything. Train the teachers first. When you train the teachers, then you get good school. Then you stop the whole garbage in, garbage out. Our students in Liberia right now, thank God for them. They are smart. They are doing their own thing, their own studies. Nobody put, because with the kind of condition in Liberia and a student going to pass wise, it's not easy. You can't get food to eat. Your mind and past struggling. You got to study. You got to sometimes wait for transportation or you walk. It's hard, my people. Our women, our young women, like you see today, Mr. Cummings got a woman VP. This is what Mr. Cummings have been saying. That's it. Listen, my priority will be to get a woman because women are the best. The women in Liberia, they are hard-working people. You see them in the markets. You see them on the sidewalk selling. They don't just want to get out there. Even the ones who are enjoying, they are still concerned about Liberia. They say, oh, the country see about what people suffering. Men, don't feel bad. But the women are the bedrock. They are the neck of any family. But we still push them aside. Our children, you 9 years old, you still selling water in the morning. You're supposed to be in school. No vacation job. We see our president drive down the road every day and he see these things. But that is why Mr. Cummings chose to go around the country, to meet people, to talk to them. This election is in your hands. We got 40%. We got some report here that we'll share with you. And you can go and do your own research. And I can remember one time Mike Jabate was on his radio. He said, oh, there are people in the country, some strange people in the country asking questions. These people been in Liberia for over 6 months. going around the country. They visited 15 counties and they spoke to 20,000 20,000 Liberians. There's a special group, they call it the Global Research Consultants. These people went around. They went from Maryland to Cape Mount. They was in Monrovia, in Montserrat. They went to all the counties, and they were able to speak to 20,000 Liberians. They were doing a research on what Liberian people looking for. And my Liberian people, when I ask you today, what you looking for in a good leader? You want a leader that will fight corruption. You want a leader that will be there for the people, that will create the avenues for jobs. You want a leader with contact. You want a leader that will stand firm and make sure our justice system is okay. That is what, when I ask you, what do you want in a leader? Nobody talk about popularity. What do you want in a leader? Nobody talk about government experience. Government experience is nothing. No degree they call. Nobody go to school to go learn it. But when you say government experience, it's like, oh, okay, I work in government for 20 years. But not because I work in government for 20 years, it should give me the right that I must be president of Liberia because I worked there for 20 years. We got people in Liberia who work in finance ministry. They've been there for 25 years, 30 years. Why you can't make them president tonight? When you talk about governmental experience. You got a civil servant who been there for 25 years. Then if they want to run for president, give it to them. That's not it. Please, when in Liberia, you have a government experience. I never heard about governmental experience in America, in any country. All you want to know that this leader, is this leader capable enough to be a good leader? To make that necessary decision that will help the country? Can this leader go out there and bring jobs? Can this leader fight corruption? These are the questions that people ask. But every time, all the questions when I see on Facebook, if we have election today, who you vote for? Oh, I will vote for Mr. Cummings. Oh, I will vote for Bwaka. That's all? Yes. Okay. Who you think can fix the country? Then you say, Mr. Bwaka can fix the country. But when I thought you said this man can win, but then how can you say this other man can fix the country? So these are the questions that people ask us. And they talk to everybody. And I want you, don't take it from me. I want you to go and do your own research. It's a they call them the global, under the name Global Research Consultants. If anyone ever remember, they were in Liberia. They were foreigners going around the country, asking questions. They are neutral people. But the other parties will not talk about it. So we're going to talk about it today. And then, oh God, we're going to talk about it today. And then from there, you will hear it for yourself. But let me go back to Sidiki. Sidiki, you mute.
Okay, you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Sidiki. And I was just talking about these global research consultants. And like everybody will ask, when you look at the polls that go around today, they always ask these questions. Who do you think, if we have election today, who do you think going to win? Everybody start choosing. Then when you ask them today, who is the most popular guy? It's easier for them to choose who's the most popular guy. We all know who's the most popular man in Liberia. But when you ask these same people, who you think can fix the economy, you will hear them say, yeah, Ellis Cummings can do it. But when you just say you vote for this man, but then how come you say the other man that's the best man? And what you're looking for? You're looking for somebody to fix the economy, somebody who can create jobs, somebody who can do something. But yet they say you still choosing another person and say, well, the man can do it, but let the man wait. What are your thoughts, Sidiki?
Yeah, I think you have to send me the pool you're talking about. Let me take a look at it.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, what I would say is this: about 40 to 45% of Liberians are undecided voters, and so many online platforms like the Closing Argument and some radio stations in Liberia have been concerned why the CPP was able to put the kind of number they put out on Friday during the naming of the CPP campaign team. And I always say to them, look, Liberians are frustrated. People hope have been dashed. You have been lied to the extent that they make it difficult for us to even go and sell, good people to the Liberian people. Because what people think about is that everybody are the same. But one reason too, or one thing I would say to the Liberian people that are listening to us is this. One of the things we have done in Liberia, and it's not working for us. That's why this election should not be about partisanship, should not be about a man from a tribe or country, but should be about the issue, should be about what the person is telling you that they will do. And you too, you the people, you have a responsibility to look at the people record. And so going back to polls, Mr. Kishen, 45 to 50% of Liberians are undecided voters.
Okay, Sidiki, let me hold you there, Sidiki. You see, we've been right all the time. I want you to listen to this. And those of you who listen to us on radio, Sidiki said 45%. Sometimes we say 20, some people say 30, some people say 40, but it will shock you, Sidiki. The Global Research Consultants, they say preliminary results of a nationwide survey by three national and international independent research firms under the banner of Global Research Consultancies, covering 20,000 respondents. Imagine, they went through 20,000 Liberians in 15 counties in Liberia. The margin of error is plus and negative 2. Now, the first question they ask, who will you vote for in the 2023 presidential election? Amongst that 20,000, 22% say they will vote for Mr. Weah. 20% say they will vote for Mr. Boyka. 18% say they will vote for Mr. Cummings. 40% say they undecided. I don't know. You just said 45%, but this poll telling us that. So we got among the 20,000 the poll went to. They're not spoon pool. They're not true FM pool. It's not something that the people calling you. 40% say, me I decide you. President Weah got 22%. Between President Weah and Mr. Boyka, that 2 points. Then between Mr. Boyka and Mr. Cummings, that 2 points. But this is the funny part about it. It will get 40%. So the 40% is what everybody looking at right now. The 40% are the one who's supposed to make the difference. But Sidiki, look what's going to happen here. They ask another question. They say, after they ask that first question, they ask the second question. They say, who do you think can better do the job of president of Liberia if elected? Sidiki, you listen to me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
They ask the same question they ask. They say, who you vote for? He say, I vote Joe Weah. Joe Weah had 22%. And my Liberian people, if Joe Weah got 22%, Mr. Boyka got 20%, and Mr. Cummings 18%, that tells you that one of them will be president of Liberia. But in the second question, they say, who do you think can better do the job of a president? Guess what? President Weah got 15%. The people who said they will vote President Weah, but President Weah got 15% if we vote for him, that the job he do. They say if we vote for Mr. Boyka, he can do the job 28% of what he got. The man who they gave 18 points, they say Mr. Cummings can do this job. They gave him 52%. He got 52%. But guess what? Then the undecided voters were 40%. In this one, the undecided voters went to 5. So you see how the undecided voters looking at the issues. They're not looking at popularity. You get what I'm saying here right now? The undecided voters were 40. But when they went to the next question, who you think can do this job? The undecided voters went down to 5%. So I'm not saying that Mr. Cummings took every one of them. But when you look at it, 35% of that undecided voters, they went to Ellis Cummings. Then they got another one against Siddiqui that will interest you, that will shock you again. They got this one here. The third question, they say, who do you think has a better chance of winning this election based on financial resources? That means when you get money, they expect you to win. They got George, we have 40%. Ain't he the president?
Sure.
We say all the time, the man got money, so he will win. Then they got Mr. Bwaka with 15%. Then they got Mr. Cummings with 35%. So 35%, they're trying to say that in election, that money, you got to get money for fuel, you got to pay the drivers, you got to get plenty of cars. Once you get money, you can campaign. So when you look at it, they got President Weah and Mr. Cummings already at the first and second. Mr. Unity Party, they say only 15%. But then the undecided voters came down to 10. They're not 40 anymore. They came down to 10. Because the undecided voters said, listen, President Weah will win because he get plenty of money. Then they went to the fourth question. The fourth question, they said, who do you think is loved by the Liberian people? Every day we talk about love, love. All the people love the country. All President Weah love the country. And we all know that President Weah is the most loved politician in Liberia. He got 40% of that loving. But not because we love you, that means you can do the job. But he got 40%. Then Mr. Bwaka came with 30%. So if we're talking about love and we don't look for good leader, we will look at Mr. Bwaka and look at George Weah. Because two of them popular. If you vice president for 12 years, you must be popular. People will know your name. Whether they see you or not, they will know your name. And then Mr. Weah play football. So we love President Weah. There is nothing in there. Mr. Cummings is way to 20%. And this thing here, that 20,000 Liberians the people went to. They didn't tell you, say, call the general show, and then you call 4, 5, 6, 7 times. They say call spoon. They're not spoon. These are credible people. Then they came to the next one. They said, question number 5. Who do you trust to better manage and grow the economy if elected? Who do you trust? All these things, President Weah won the first one. They say if you vote today, I vote President Weah. They say, who do you trust? The same people who voted for President Weah, 12% say they trust President Weah to do a better job. They're 12. Then Joseph Bwaka, 28% trust Joseph Bwaka to do this work. In that poll, my brother, 52% trust Mr. Cummings to do the job. But again, 18%, oh, he's not popular. But now, the undecided votes, they drop down to 8%. You see, when we're talking about the undecided vote, people don't understand it. They are the most important people. They will vote on the issues. Whether you like it or not, they will not vote for Siddiqui because they know Siddiqui. They will vote if Mr. Cummings can produce, or Mr. Bwaka can produce, or Mr. Weah can produce. If you cannot produce because they're looking at your record. So Mr. Cummings got 52%. Then Siddiqui, they went back to the 6th question. Who do you think will provide more jobs and employment for Liberians if elected? Among all the candidates. And they're saying that not only 3 people they're talking about, but when you do a polls, you will choose the first 3. You got to go all the way. So they wonder with the highest I want to go back. They say Mr. Weah can create job 10%. Danala, only 10% government job that he created. That's all he gave for government job. 10%. They say if we elect Mr. Bwaka will create job at 25%. And in like, bro, what we're looking for today? In our jobs we're looking for, we want work. We want our children to go to school, we want to work and feed our family. They say if we elect Mr. Bwaka, that 25% job. They say if we elect Mr. Cummings, 60%. You see the difference? 60% of the job, Mr. Cummings will create job in our country. 60%. The undecided voters drop down to 5%. So you see, The undecided voters are the one who doing all these things. Because when they come to the real issue, they say, oh yeah, I think this man can do it. But when they are voting first, this is the first time undecided voter to reach 40. By this time, maybe it'll be 5%. But people still not happy. They want to hear the real thing. They want to see. So they're keeping their cool. So you see how they're dropping down? So we got a good chance. And I would not be surprised, but I know it will be for another day. They got a 7 question. Who do you think has more governmental experience? That one every day already. Oh, governmental experience. They say, Mr. Weah got 30%, Mr. Bwaka got 50%, Mr. Cummings got 10%. You think they lie? No. Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Cummings never worked in government. Mr. Bwaka worked in government for 42 years. Mr. Weah just worked in government. He's the president. But getting governmental experience, it means that you're a good leader. It's just to say how long you work there. So nobody make anybody president because of governmental experience, or else. And Joseph Jenkins Roberts was a businessman, was never going to be president. You got Coleman and other people, past presidents, were only business people before they got into government. So all these things, governmental experience, so they got it. We give it to them. We never deny it, but we're looking for somebody who will deliver. Now, Sidiki, look at this one here again. Who will you trust with your country, money, and natural resources? That is, who do you think is corruption free? We got governmental experience. We got the most loved. We got the other people saying when you vote today. All the way they say they want the governmental experience, they say, but who you trust? Among all the Liberian candidates, who do you trust? Guess what? The people voted for president, we are 22%. 5% say they trust president, we are with the country money. They lie because they not see what he's doing. They not use the money till we ain't got no money again. Then 20% say they trust Mr. Bwaka if he's president to take care of Liberian poor money. They say they trust Mr. Bwaka. Sirigi, 70% of the 20,000 that they went through, 70% said they trust Mr. Cummings to manage the country money. 70. And guess what? The undecided voters, it gone down to 5. So 35% of the undecided voters say we will vote for Mr. Cummings. We trust him to manage the country money. He's corruption free. He will fight it. Oh, but all the things Liberian people looking for is in this man. The only thing you say, oh, the man never work in government, not true. It mean that you got to work in government before you be president. That is true. So look at this one again, Sidiki, oh, my people. The guy they won the 9th question. The 9th question, my brother. They say, who do you believe has international contact to bring investment into the country? So all these things people been talking way loud. They say, who do you believe has international contact to bring investment into the country? They say, President, we are getting 5% because they put on see a performance. Since he took over, nobody not come. The only people we see coming, that the small people there who want to do small thing on the side. Then they say Mr. Bwaka got 15% international contact to bring investment in the country when he's elected. They say Mr. Cummings got 75%. 75. They pull here enough from Spoon, enough from Freedom FM, enough from True FM, it's not from Front Page Africa. I respect Front Page Africa. Now, they say Mr. Cummings got 75%. And guess what happened? The undecided votes gone down to 5%. The undecided voters, they gone down to 5%. Now, this is the other one here that will shock you. They say question 10. Who will you vote for if we are, listen to this now. They say, who will you vote for if we are and Bwaka goes for runoff in second round? They ask that question. They say, so, man, you tell us who you going to vote for between we and Mr. Bwaka? Joshua got 55%. Mr. Bwaka got 30%. I will not vote. Suppose I will not vote. 15%. 15% say they will not vote. 15% say they're not going to vote. So between Bwaka and Mr. Weah, that's what we talk about opposition unity, but they refuse. They don't want to listen. That's what the people saying. Then they brought them down. They say, okay, let's look at who will you vote for if Weah and Cummings go for a runoff. Mr. Weah got 40%. Mr. Cummings got 57%. I will not vote. It went down to 3. And we'll be saying ATF Sidiki that if Mr. Cummings goes against Mr. Weah, even the common people from UP will vote for Mr. Cummings. The people that will not vote for Mr. Cummings will be the tap guy like Mo Ali there. All the guys will, Darius Dillon, all these people will try to switch to CDC, but still will not help. Now, they come down to, they say, okay, who will you vote for if Bwaka and Cummings in a runoff? It's possible it will be Bwaka and Cummings. It's possible. 35% went to Mr. Bwaka. 55% went to Mr. Cummings. And I will not vote went to 10%. I will not vote at all. Went to 10%. You see, so my Liberian people, I'm saying this to you. I will send this to you, Sidiki. You can go and you check it up for yourself. We got no reason to lie to you. Popularity is not leadership. They're not contests we're going through, my Liberian people. Don't vote for somebody because you say you just love them. Oh, I just love Joe Weah. I've been supporting George Weah at the time he was a football player. Joe Weah ain't produced nothing yet. We made Joe Weah president. They're going 6 years. We still don't have jobs. We still don't have jobs in the country. Our mom and pa, they stay struggling. The children to the same place, they can't go to school because you don't get money to send the children to school. The girls' children now, they don't want to tend to be the ma and pa in the house because they can go there and come back outside. The same big people there, they going after our girls there, our boys there all. No jobs. Our pa and man there, who were working before, they can't work again. Their pension canceled. And it's all over the country. Now, not only the government alone. Even the business, the private people, they don't want to pay. They will push our people around. Oh, we ain't got money. Oh, you got to come next week. You go to the supermarket, they can't pay our people. Because we go to the same, but government can't pay too. Our president saying nothing about it. No security, no law and order. No business not coming in the country. We can't hear president. We are playing football. President, we are playing football. President, we are which contact? Show us a company that came to Liberia to open a business and they employing people. It's the same old company that still using our people, still bending, still making $10, $20 whole day, bending steel. Our children in the dumper finding food to eat. While the papa sitting down who no job. The woman go to the market every day. She will say the small money. Just because of hard time like brought today, our children can have breakfast. They can have lunch. Only one time they will cook in the house. The woman will cook the food around 8 o'clock. Just so the children can disturb. When you eat, you go to bed. Some people can put plenty of pepper in the food so the child will drink plenty of water. Because when you drink plenty of water, that means your stomach full, you go to bed. Not like before, sometimes you go to Mount Teresa house, you get small food. This time, you can't even ask Mount Teresa for salt. Mount Teresa say, I don't get it. Even a plum can't even drop from the tree anymore in Mount Teresa yard. Because by the time it dropped to Mount Teresa, say, pick it up. Imagine Mount Teresa sleeping in the night. She just get dupe. She said, Jumbo, I think one plum not drop. But before, we used to be walking in the Oma yard and pick up the plum, pick up the golden plum and eat it. But this time, you can't find no plum on the street. I went through Banga, Sidiki was there. We saw them selling all the plum. But the funny part, we walk under the plum tree, we see one plum on the floor. The children just look at the plum. By the time the plum won't fall up, again, grab the plum coming down, give us straight. So, my Liberian people, that have before my mom would say, go to St. Teresa there and go ask for chicken soup. By the time you get it, it'll get to you. But this time, you can't even ask your neighbor to give you salt. They tell you, say, we get it because everybody keep it. My Liberian people, I got this story. Let me give you this story. We still got this time here. There was this guy who went in the community. The man went to everybody's door and said, "Y'all please give me food to eat." Nobody won't get the man food. They say, "Oh, my man, we get money, we get food." So you know the man did? The man went and set his fire up. He went and took one rack. He washed the rack good. He cleaned the rack. Then he brought the rack near the fire. But because we saw say one of the Oma here said, "My son, what are you doing?" He said, "Oh ma, I come and cook the rack here to eat today." She said, "You can cook rack." She said, "Watch and see." He said, "The only thing I'm looking for pot." The Oma who says she ain't get nothing, she ran to her house and brought one pot. The boy poured the pot and said, "I need water." She went and brought the water because she knows that she won't see. The boy poured the water on the rack and put the fire on it. That thing boiling. The other neighbor came and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm cooking rack." He said, "Who not cook rack?" He said, "The only thing I tell you, I'm looking for chicken soup, pepper. That's all I'm looking for." The people who said they didn't get food, they went to the house and brought the chicken soup and pepper. The boy put it in the pot. The other one brought fish. He put it in there. Everybody conscious now. They won't see that rack. They won't see that boy eating the rack. So all of them brought the ingredient. The boy said, "The only thing I'm missing it here, I'm like, if you add rice on it, you enjoy it." They went and brought rice. They brought the rice. The boy put the rice. The rice done. The thing smelling good. They rack in the rice. When the boy finished, he cut the own of food and he told us, "But you can't eat." They went and cut their own. They cut their own. The boy cut it. Everybody looking to see who will eat the rack. The boy ate his stomach full. The last man came. They said, "What happened?" He said, "Oh, the boy cooked the rack, but the rack in there, the food finished." So the other man took out the rack. He started licking the rack. He said, "But the food's real." He licked the rack to the bottom. The boy said, "You see that? Now we all put the food together and we cook it and make it look good." So you see what happened? The boy came up with that strategy. He said, "Since the people mean, but I will make us will work together and make a better place." So that is why Mr. Cummings is telling us we must work together. We must respect each other. You bring small, I bring small. We can't give everything out. We can't just come and provide for you. If you're building a community center, I pour my 5 cents, you pour your 5 cents, they will make it look good. Because plenty of free things are good. At the end of the day, they pour happy with the rack soup. And nobody ate the rack, but everyone of them ate, they start lecturing our whole and start talking about all this father story. So my Liberian people, I'm telling you today, only us can face Liberia, not a white man. Mr. Cummings said, only you and myself can fix it. Every day we ask the question, what you not do, Mr. Cummings? Mr. Cummings have done a lot in Liberia than anybody running for president. Individually. I will tell you today, and y'all go to WISE, and go look for the thing and go ask the question. The first Liberian who paid plenty of money to WISE in 2016 for the WISE, that was Mr. Cummings. That was Mr. Cummings. This man get plenty of students in all the colleges around town. This man, he invested in agriculture, health, and whatsoever. You remember in 2004, that time Mr. Cummings was not even running for president. That time Ellen Johnson said was not even running. Mr. Cummings came to Liberia with a group of people and went to Buchanan. And in the newspaper, you look in the Inquirer, the old paper. They gave $350,000 worth of equipment, medical supply to the Buchanan Hospital. Mr. Cummings came in the country during the Ebola and gave $1 million. Coca-Cola gave $1 million to our government. Mr. Cummings went out and negotiated for $4 million worth of drugs. But you don't see him talking about it. You know why he don't talk about it? He didn't tell you say he want to do it so you can vote for him. He gets something called he's a philanthropist. That means, okay, let's put it this way. He's a good man. Somebody who say, I want to do good for my people. So Mr. Cummings was not even in politics when he started doing all these things because he was reaching to the place to say, I come and retire, and when I retire, I'm going home. Mr. Cummings had an interview, go on YouTube and stay there. He said, everything I get today is because of Liberia. He said, my success is Liberia. Mr. Cummings didn't come from heaven to fall down. Mr. Cummings was born in the same government hospital. Mr. Cummings was born right in government, in our place there, Snapper, the hospital there. Mr. Cummings grew up like any other little child who used to run around with tear ball tracing. Mr. Cummings went to the same public school. Who will be in Morovia don't go to demonstration school. Then from there, he went to Cottington. They get people who used to sell pepper, chicken soup. They used to send a train to Cottington. Mr. Boaka said went Cottington. When he graduated, what he and CWA, I'm sorry, CWA. He went to CWA. The man was in CWA. Don't you know that Mr. Cummings was the senior class president? Nobody knew about it. He didn't run all over the place. Oh, I was former senior class president. He was the senior class president. It's on record. From there, he went to Cottington. He was in Cottington. Everybody, the country not too good. Mr. Cummings went abroad and went to school. When he graduated from Indiana University, what he did, he came back to Liberia because his whole intention was to live in Liberia. When he came back, he got a job to LBDR. Y'all don't know that Mr. Cummings worked to LBDR. He worked there. He still was hustling. He worked as financial analyst. He hustled again. He was able to send himself. He went abroad. While he was there, he graduated the war. Pump. Everything messed up. The people that travel, you expect them to come back again when everything messed up in the country. They can't come back. Joe, we are saying we're playing for, we're fighting to go abroad. So the man come back. What the man did, the man start working. The man worked with Pillsbury Food Company. You're thinking that Coca-Cola, oh, they're not Coca-Cola alone. This man was as far as vice president, responsible for Asia, $1.3 billion budget. Then when he finished again, he applied to Coca-Cola. They took that man from like America. They sent him to Nigeria. Imagine they tell the man from America, they sent him to Nigeria to be deputy managing director. The man performed. They gave him half of Africa. Then they sent him to South Africa. They sent him to London. The man was in London. The man took the office to South Africa. He said, we cannot be running Africa in London. We got to go to Africa. Then they brought the man back to the big stage. He was the second man in command, responsible for strategic. I mean, he the one today work the thing that Coca-Cola enjoying. If anybody criticize Mr. Cummings because he worked for Coca-Cola, that means you're not good Liberian. That means you envy your friends. The man was not working there. All these things, the man tried his best. Nothing you can see. Mr. Cummings, the first Liberian on the World Economic Council, where you got foreign presidents from other countries, companies, presidents, and CEOs. Mr. Cummings is on it. You know Mr. Cummings is a celebrity too. Why it should only be some of us who run in our mouth? Mr. Cummings can be sitting down somewhere different to enjoy. When you go Google Mr. Cummings, they will tell you how much Mr. Cummings used to make. And Mr. Cummings, why we trust Mr. Cummings? Because the money he make is still working for him. The other day, Prince Johnson said, oh, when you made Joe, we are president, he will eat a poor money because even the $3 million he make, he ate it. Ain't that true? They say, oh, if you made Braga president, the people that runs Braga, that's true. But people, we've been having governance problem. We're looking for a leader who will tell you, say, you fire. We're looking for a leader who will tell you, say, because you stole our money, we will prosecute you. Mr. Cummings is not running for president to bring people from America to come work in our country. Mr. Cummings say every day Liberia get most qualified people. Liberia will have people in Liberia plenty. Mr. Cummings say you won't come to. Let me tell you today, some of us coming to a Liberia to vote. Tonight, Mr. Cummings pay our way. We stay hustling. Mr. Cummings not transporting nobody from Liberia to tell us, say, oh, Mr. Cummings bringing other people. No, we are Liberians. Some of us say we even get money, we're struggling. But because we love our country, Liberia, we want to come home to create job. We want to come home, open our small water business, and let we employ other people. Because Mr. Cummings believe that only business can pay. Mr. Cummings believe that government must invest into small business. So Mr. Cummings gets on the call $20 million. He wrote it down. He said, the president was supposed to do it, but he didn't do it. I will do it. We're supposed to get our small business. The woman who used to sell cold water can open a big shop. When you have shop, you can open store. That is the responsibility of the government to make sure that the citizen do something. But every time, that's why they envy Mr. Cummings, my people, Liberian people. But we believe in you. The 40% we believe in you. You will make the difference this time. The young children between the age of 19 and 35 years old, we believe in you. You can make that difference. You cannot add another 6 years to your age. You cannot be 44 years old and add another free 6 years, and then you 34. Then you'll be 40 years old with nothing. The old politicians fool us. We shouldn't allow to. We cannot allow to fool. We can't fool you this time too. We cannot allow that. Mr. Cummings is a progressive. Let me tell you today. We talk about the progressive, but the difference between Mr. Cummings and the other progressive, Mr. Cummings got money to feed himself. God bless him. Because all the other progressive, they are poor, so when they get in office, they won't build their own houses. We need somebody that will look in the eyes of the corrupt people and say, you will go to jail. We're looking for a leader that will not bring his wife and give them $50 and $1.5 million. This government, just imagine, they set up $15 million for the executive mansion. You're supposed to get that money every quarterly, break it down. This president requests for that money in full. The $1.5 million they gave the first lady, she requests for it in full. And this money is supposed to be given little by little. Look at us today. Roll. Where is the roads? The Rubberfield Highway, let's stop it now. It will be a very good road, don't get me wrong. I drove on it, I took pictures. But that Rubberfield Highway was supposed to take us at least 4 years to fix. We got to build a bridge with another tomorrow business. So don't tell me I'm going to vote for President Weah because they won't open the Rubberfield Highway. No. The biggest problem of President Weah is corruption, justice for Liberian, and cannot create job. That is the 3 cardinal points for any human being to live. Human being, the citizen should have a job. When they get a job, they will not demonstrate. When they get a job, they will take care of the family. They will do whatsoever. All they need is jobs. Encourage businesses to come in the country. But every company, look at every company that came to Liberia left. Hilton Hotel gone. They say by this time, look at Sierra Leone, they finish building it. They saw finish building the hotel in Liberia to create job. They poor gone, they poor tired. They left everything with Baba. Oh man, Baba, they say, my man, when they poor ready, that's it. My Liberian people, President Weah built more houses than President Totman. When you check President Totman houses, Amy reached nothing. 27 years president. We thought he was a more corrupt president. But today, President Weah built more houses. He built a whole village. President Weah promised the Liberian people that he was going to fight corruption. But instead of fighting corruption overlooked him. The first time in our history for the American that we depend on to sanction government employees, Nathaniel Magee. He into Magibi today trying to run. And some Liberians are running. We are our own problem. You can fix it. Say no to Nathaniel Magee. Say no to Bill Twari. Say no to Vanny Sherman. Say no to Prince Johnson. We got people who kill and listen to radio. There's a man who called the same True FM today. When that man called, he cried like a baby. That I was there when Prince Johnson killed. Yes, Prince Johnson killed the former principal from Western. The school that President Weah attended. President Weah is aware that man was killed by Prince Johnson. But today, listen, we want anybody, you are all Liberian, but everybody must face justice. My brother, who, if you create a problem, you must face justice. The spirit of our dead are all into Liberia walking, people looking for justice, do no justice. And Liberians, we got to fight for justice on our own. There is nothing wrong with you if you have any proof on Mr. Johnson, Prince Johnson, sue him. Keep the case in court. But we ourselves will depend on the government. Oh, let government do it. No. If Mr. Johnson or anybody were going to kill my relative by the time we in court, if it takes 20 years, that case will come out. Don't overlook it. Liberia will change. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Do not give up on your country. Do not cause violence. Respect each other. Whether you're from UP, you're from ALP, you're from CDC. Let us show respect for one another because there will be life after the 10th of October. We will sit, but the hatred in Liberia today, brothers against brothers. There's my brother support UP and CPP. And CDC. But we are brothers. It is his right. It is my right to support who you want to support. If you feel like supporting Mr. Cummings, it's up to you. But this is what you need to do. You must put Liberian first. You can be a member of CDC and vote for Mr. Cummings because you don't like what your president is doing. You can be a member of ANC and vote for somebody else because maybe you don't like Mr. Cummings. You can be a member of UP and vote for Mr. Cummings. You don't need to join the party. You don't need to join the party. I respect my brother. My brother is a member of NPP. And I tell you, every day I say I want a war crime court. If the war crime court will catch you, it will catch you. I will hold my heart, and if it causes you to go anywhere, you go. If you create any problem. But this is what we're talking about. You must put your country first. My family will not say to Liberia. No way. I love Liberia. I don't know how you love Liberia, but I love Liberia as a human being, as a Liberian. I work in our country. I work as a civil servant. I don't need to go as a civil servant again. Man, when I come here, I won't face my own color too. You're not because your pa was cooking for Mr. Haddad. That means your son will cook for Mr. Haddad. No way. My father cooked for Mr. Haddad. That ain't mean my son will cook for him too. No. I'm supposed to get different career. I get to get different education. My man saw bread. I saw bread in looking down. So you wanted me now for just selling bread until my children sell bread? No. I saw bread, but my children will not sell bread. Other people saw water. It mean that children can sell water too. What time we respect our people, my Liberian people? It's sorrowful. Every day, oh, Mr. Cummings, let Mr. Cummings create job. He ain't got to be president. You looking for someone to create job, you don't bring Bernard Ure. Why you look for Oscar Cooper? Oscar Cooper get a whole rubber farm. He got 600 children going to school free. President, we ain't get 600 children going to school free. Mr. Bwaka ain't get 600 children going to school free. Why you ain't vote for Oscar Cooper since you want job? Liberian people, let's stop it. Let's stop it. To all our hateful politicians that are causing all the problem in Liberia, your time is limited. The Liberian people this time is our people. This is our time. We will vote right. We will vote our conscience. We will put Liberia at the center before we vote. Nothing about liking you. I told you before, don't fall. I'm not in love with Mr. Cummings. I only love Mr. Cummings' platform. If Mr. Cummings' platform was not good, I was going to be still looking around. Do not fall in love with politicians. When they win, it's on them. All you want for a politician to do is to do the right thing. If your community need a pot and water, they should get it. Your community should benefit from school, benefit with everything. That's why Mr. Cummings say agro-based agriculture. You know what I'm saying? You go to Africa today, that all they depending on. You go to Namibia today, they're depending on it. You go to other places that are in agriculture. They're not just to be fertilizing, to put one garden in the backyard. This government talk about agriculture, what they did? Nothing. They ate all the money. Good programs, they ate everything. My Liberian people, I can stay and talk to you the whole day. We're not appealing to you, we can do it together. I got only one vote. I got only one vote. Mr. Cummings, one vote. Mr. We are one vote. We are all important. Nobody is better than you. The Zogo, the disadvantage you, nobody better than you. We're supposed to make sure to get you off the street, off the drugs. That's the responsibility of the government. That is the role. In America, they do the same thing. You got drugs all over the place. Our children walking like they are all zombies. And people laugh for it. And we make fun out of each other. We see a Liberian in the street knocking their head. And so even stop, they'll say, oh no, they may charge. When we have the Samaritan, Mr. Cummings now go to every community. He walking around, talking to people. Let them say what they want to say. A leader must serve the people. The people can serve the leader. The leader you dare to serve. And running for office is not about making money. I will pray to God every day that when Mr. Cummings become president, they must reduce the salary of the representatives. Maybe when they reduce their salary, good, they will be serious. How you work for only 2 days will pay you $10,000. You don't go in your district. But we pay you $10,000 every month just because you go to work 2 days. And when you go there, you got free car. You got everything. Instead of you holding the government for your people, all of your done are humanitarian. You get Sir Joseph who building schools all over. So nobody can vote against it. We must remove Sir Joseph from power. Sir Joseph is no good for Montserrat County. You're asking what happened to Tottenham High? What happened to Central High? Gibson, all the government schools, but he built schools. He's senator for Montserrat now. You're asking a question. He got a construction company. You go and bring bosses like your own business, they're not government business. The money goes straight in your pocket. He used his office. Today he's a millionaire. Buffer Chimo, he's a millionaire. Abachie, he's a millionaire. You got the deputy speaker, a millionaire. They're giving you chicken change and they say you vote for them. Then Paul Yeke Koluba, who's speaking out and they seize his salary, then you say you want to remove Yeke Koluba because he caused the president. That's his business. You don't know what they call freedom of speech? We can criticize Yeke for cursing, but you can't stop Yeke how to talk. Because you're suppressing him. You get Alexander Swart right in District 5, who's struggling. Oh, because he ain't with the ruling party, we must vote for him. Victoria, we must vote for her. Look at what's District 8, Akaros Gray. He's not even living in the district, and you want to vote for him? He disgraced you for 12 years, but yet you still jumping behind him. Vote for Nuve. You get District 7, Solomon George. Go in the Senate, in the representative, he costs every day. He have done nothing for West Point. And then he want you to vote for him for the third time. Today he got money. He millionaire now. Vote for Weary Koba. Vote all the CPP candidates. We need a change. They are not going there to go to help Mr. Cummings. Because I can tell you today, when Mr. Cummings is president, whether you can get 10,000 seditionists or UPNs as a representative, Mr. Cummings will conquer them. Because you know what? Liberia is a unitary state. The government is powerful. So don't be afraid. You can bring all the CDC lawmakers. You can bring all the UP lawmakers. Mr. Cummings will conquer them because they know nothing. Mr. Cummings understanding how to create jobs. We will cut the salary. They don't deserve it. We will stop the $30,000 because when the government put it in there, they don't know where you get it. And if they say they don't, if they try to obstruct, we will go to the counties and tell the people, say your lawmakers are nothing but greedy people. We need to take Deki Sibo or Abu Kamara. They are nothing but greedy people. They are greedy, my people. That is why the president having a leeway. You got a president who left the country for 49 days. No country in the world. Our constitution says when the president stays more than 7 days, it's on him. But this man, 49 days, he want to go watch a football game, walk up. While some of us were only watching it on TV. But the president will use our country money to go to the World Cup to watch his son playing. And they get other Liberians that were playing, but he didn't recognize them. He watched Brazil game, or he watched all the games. He come by your start, the sedition went in the street, the dancing. Seditions, you can dance from now to judgment that you will get a good president. Mr. Cummings is not coming to revenge. Mr. Cummings is not angry. Mr. Cummings said, what are your sedition, you from CPP or whatsoever, if you are qualified, you will work. And Mr. Cummings is not coming to remove any sedition from power because you're civil servant. No. Even some assistant ministers might keep their post. Mr. Cummings said there are a lot of qualified Liberians in this government, but the government is so corrupt until you can see the people say. Mr. Cummings said they get a lot of qualified GM ministers. How do you know Mr. Cummings said, but listen, I live in Liberia. I live in Liberia. There are people in our government. They will, look, do not overlook the 40%, the undecided voters. We will win this election. Liberian people will win it. Sidiki, Atta, I want you to weigh in. Because sometimes I left for you to be said you you get eyeball, you can see. You get on your bike Sunday, you get on your keke, you going home, you hear people talking. What you hear in the street, Atta? What you hearing? Then from there we'll go to Sidiki.
Yeah, Mr. Kishan, everybody, we move in the streets, we see the most people that are campaigning here, to be honest, is the CDC. Their flyers are all over, their billboards are all around the city. Any part of the corner you go, you'll see them. But when we talk to certain people will tell you, say, I prefer voting Alexander Cummings, but I can't vote Waka because those people made 12 years in government. They did nothing for Liberian people, even though he was a vice president, but he had a voice. So they even prefer voting Alexander Cummings. I even talked to some friends when I sit down with them. Like one other time, I'll sit down with 1 or 3 friends. They didn't decide to vote. When I asked another one, he said, I would like to, I don't know who to vote for. I might not vote. I explain when I talk about Cummings. He said, oh, bro, but then I told one of the flyers because my boss said, likability has a flyer with he and Cummings on it. I give it to him. He said, oh, but in the fall, and I know no president to vote for, but I'll try to vote for Mr. Cummings. You know, he move around people, sending more folks. Why you saying is not like more folks? They don't want to vote there. They haven't decided who to vote for yet. But to be frank, Alex Cummings is making a good point, and we see Liberian going forward to vote Mr. Cummings because Cummings is a very good person. If like we're having to give this country to Cummings, it will be better. It will be very good indeed. So thank you.
Okay, Sidiki, you continue to go around, you continue to engage people, and I know sometimes people can say you let to tell Sidiki thank you too much, but I'm the kind of person who gave people the flowers while they're alive. If they will ask you right now, Sidiki, give us an advice. What you think we need to do more? What we're supposed to do? You know, we need to get into this era. What we really need to win this election? Who to reach out to? Who are the set of people to reach out? Let's say we're giving y'all ideas, but we know y'all will not do it because we the one got the plans. So the thing that Sidiki going to talk, he the one know how to do it. So what are you see? They say you still can make it. An election time, we got 50 more days.
Yeah, we have to continue to engage that we have already started. We have to go from country to country. Like one of the things we're doing tomorrow, you know, to tour within out of the district, go from community to community, talk to the people, sit down with them. And then most of the engagement we do, we have to keep in touch because so many times you talk to people, you go, and then if you're not communicating with them to at least, you know, maintain them, sometimes they get frustrated, they go away. And looking at the way the system is in Liberia, everybody want to be part of the process. Everybody wants certain level of attention. Everybody want to be seen at the forefront. And so you can't continue to ignore people. So maybe we can just use this medium to say to the people who were selected to be on the campaign team, yeah, so the people who were selected to be on the campaign team to do everything they can do to at least keep in touch with our people, you know, and if even somebody is mad at you or angry, maybe you go to somewhere to talk, they try to be emotional and what have you, just leave them. Talk to them in a way that they can understand. Even if they insult you, go back the next day, come and talk to them. Don't give up. Because these are some of the things. Some places you go there, people are going to be harsh on you. But your goal is to make a case to them. If you know somebody is being emotional, all you can do is to, you know, and most importantly, we want to say this to all of our supporters. Do not get yourself into violence in this time. If you know you and somebody having exchanges, the person is not, you know, they getting emotional over you, you walk away. Maybe the next day or the next time you can have a decent conversation. But what we can do right now going forward, Mr. Kishan, is to continue to engage. And I'm sure the CPP is doing that. And there are a lot of people, you know, people like you, John Maolo, Yasidi, will be here soon. And I don't think you guys are coming to sit. You are coming to go from community to community to do the same thing that we are doing too. And so with that, and that is why when we come here, we say, look, we're going to win this election. People can say, why are you taking that belief from? But we're not taking it from nowhere. We're taking it from the level of work we have done. We are taking it from the sacrifices we have made. And so that is it. But we can go to the phone line if you don't mind, because we are running out of time already.
Okay, we're already running out of time. And guys, we'll go to the phone line. And I send information out, but if you get 2 minutes of your time, fine. But before we leave, I want us to play our unity speech of Mr. Cummings Sidiki. And it's just 1 minute. We want to just take a 1 minute break and then from there we'll go to the phone line, Sidiki.
Yeah, go ahead, no problem.
Okay, let Liberian people listen to this. This is the only man who continue to tell us that we should unite ourselves. So please listen. Let's just take just a 2 minutes break, quick.
My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived 2 deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Cape Mount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Cess, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
God bless you. God bless Liberia. And mute yourself and pray.
The person you bring on, I don't know who that person is.
Prince, mute yourself. Okay. Listen, we got 10 minutes to go. We got 9 minutes, Prince. I want you to use 2 minutes. Make the case. Only 2 minutes. Make the case to Liberian people. Don't go more than 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, if you go more than 2 minutes this time, then I will have to go to the line. But sorry for bringing you up late. But you always prepare whenever I bring you up. So go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you to the guys in the studio, Siddiqui, all of you guys. 2 minutes is enough for me. I just want to tell my Liberian people, the 40% of those who are undecided, I know why you are undecided. It's because of the confusion and all the things, noise in it that has been going on. But oftentimes, when we are in trouble, we often ask the international community to come to our rescue. When there's a problem, we'll go to the American embassy. We stay in front of the embassy. The poll that you saw just now is the international community way of telling you this is the direction you should go. This is the person that we're willing to work with. This is the person that can bring the solution that you're looking for. So they done that poll, and Cummings didn't pay for that poll. Joe Weah didn't pay for it. Baga didn't pay for it. The international community pay for it because they want to help you. So you can't be confused. So folks, the 40% of you that are undecided, you have given Baga his chance. Baga in the United Party had 12 years, and they can show nothing for it. Joe Weah, you are giving him a chance. 6 years, your life has become worse. Now, Alexander Cummings has a plan, and he has made that plan. He has made the case. Everywhere and anywhere you call him, he's there. So to say you're undecided now is to say that you don't want to be able to determine your own future. You want somebody else to determine for you. But this time, determine for yourself. Thank you very much. God bless you. The 40% is for Alexander Cummings, and they're going to vote Alexander Cummings because their life is involved. Thank you very much.
Okay, and Siddiqui, let's go to the phone line.
We're gonna take some calls, and we'll take 5 or 6 calls because I only 5 more minutes to end this show.
Yeah, that's what the voice Prince William. Go ahead, Prince.
0776 339898 or 025523827 are the numbers to call, and you'll be on Truth 96.1 on the General Show. 0776 339898 or 025523827. Let's take our first caller right here. Good afternoon, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Amadou Gibran calling from Howie.
Okay, make a point, Amadou.
Mr. King, and I really admire you. The way you keep and that people. Let me tell you, LeBron cannot go forward and to keep our mindset and keep the bonds of that get up before, but when you go out, yeah, the time we're using it now, on the platform. We really need to look forward to the future. The future is when you play in young people out, you need to see Mr. Kuma as the future. Let us all go beyond Mr. Kuma and run around to be our church to come generation like you know,
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you too. Let's take this other caller. Good afternoon, caller. What's your name? Okay, we'll answer. Make a point. A few seconds. Thank you. Let's take this other caller right. Good afternoon, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Yeah, just away from your radio, please. But you need to judge away from your radio now. Hello.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where you calling from, caller?
I'm calling from Yahweh.
Okay, Philip, make your point. You have a few seconds.
My brother, you go and say, is the next president of this country. You will vote number 4 on the bypass.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's take the caller right here. Good afternoon, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, make your point. Make your point. Make your point. You say what your question? I'm not getting you, brother. Let's take the another call. I'm not getting you. I don't know. Good afternoon, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good afternoon, my brother. My name is Frank.
Okay, make your point.
Okay, yeah, something to follow because you guys said all right.
Mm-hmm.
We all supporting the movement of the ENC that has to do with Ambassador Cummings. But there have been a lot of speculations around, and other people don't come over here. So let me just get a bit of opinion from you guys there, right? What the time we've been hearing Cummings have been involved into the gay issue of voting, you will come up with gay right and what have you. What do you guys have to say about that? Thank you.
Okay, we'll adjust that. Thank you. Let's take this last caller. Good afternoon, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, Marama, make your point. Thank you. Okay. So before I go to Mr. Kishen, let me respond to the caller that has a question. Then maybe Mr. Kishen can add on to what I would say. Caller and librarians listening to us this afternoon on the radio. Look, that's a complete, nonsense that Mr. Cummings always addresses. You guys have been saying about him being a gay. It's a lie. You have never supported it. And let me say this. When somebody look in your face, knowing fully well that they are lying, and they look in your face and lie to you, that means they intentionally or intelligently insulting you. It means that they know that you can't think for yourself, so they want to lie to you, thinking that you will believe it. And because they do that, the people should get mad at you kind of people. During President Salif time, there was one of our songs, I don't know whether it's true or not, but Rap Salif used to be accused of being a gay. And there were people in Liberia that used to point out that this is a person Rap Salif loving to or what have you. I don't know whether it was true or not. I'm not in a position to declare that. But since the gay business started on Cummings, my people, one person they can point to that Cummings is loving. Mr. Cummings is now gay. He has been married for 40 plus years, got 2 children, 5 grandchildren, and he have never supported a gay. And let me make this clear before I go to Mr. Kishen. One individual cannot make law in abroad. Say, when you let the man will legalize gay. That lie. And because our people don't know how laws are made in the country, they want to take advantage of that and lie to you. The president don't have that power to create any law. Other law passing through the House of Representatives or the House of Senate. And so to tell you that Cummings won't make law in abroad, is so naive. And I want you, the people, to not back for that nonsense. If they come to you and tell you say the man is okay, ask them for that evidence. What are the evidence? Who's the man loving to say the man is okay? But they have no fact. They can tell you this man is corrupt. They can tell you say, oh, he's one of the reasons the country is backward today, and so they look for lies. And in fact, before we close on the show, we'll play a recording where somebody confessed that he won't put that gate on Cummings. And now, you know, they were running campaign for CDC 2017. He stuck the gate on Obi today he's in America. At the time he was supporting CDC. They all started these allegations against him. So he's not a gay. So Mr. Kishan, you can take it from there.
To my friend there, please, Mr. Cummings is not a gay. Mr. Cummings married for 42 years. He got 2 kids, 5 grandchildren. If Mr. Cummings was gay, you are coming to know in Liberia. You can't even show me one person. So my question here, is Darius Dillon a gay? Because we saw Darius Dillon running around with Robert Salif. And you're talking about gay rights. You all need to ask the government of Liberia that we oppose. We will not sponsor any gay bills in Liberia. The president of Liberia sent the foreign minister in Gambia and they signed onto gay rights in Liberia. Y'all don't know that? Just because of money. But we condemn it, so they took it down from the executive mansion website. When the news were going around, they said, President, we are that gay. You believe it too? Liberian people, when we got nothing to talk about you, all we do, we carry lies. But we play the tape of one guy they call Obi, who now supporting Mr. Bwaka, who, if we really wanted to take to court, it was easy. He apologized until he had to go on Facebook. So before we close, please listen to this tape here from your boy. Please listen to it. Yeah, please.
It is complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right?
I was so shit in the crowd looking around the place, so crowded, foreign guests all over the place. And that gay thing, I invented it and I stuck it on Ellis Cummings, and it's stuck. And that gay thing, I invented it and I stuck it on Ellis Cummings, and it's stuck. It's stuck. Today that gay thing still on Ellis Cummings. It was something I invented. It was something I invented. It was something I invented. And the way I did it, I called somebody from Atlanta where you are living. So I created a story and I called the person and attached the person into it. The person is a big Liberian guy too. You say, yeah, my man, I will tell you the truth. So I created a story and I called the person and attached the person into it. The person is a big Liberian guy too. You say, yeah, my man, I will tell you the truth. So I use that person as a reference. That information, so that's what we did. Yeah, so that I'm not confident that whole gay thing I invented it. Yeah, so that I'm not confident that whole gay thing I invented it. And I was gonna pick working right, publish that story, the one about his wife and everything. Shit.
Okay, first of all, complete bullshit, complete nonsense. But there's this.
Okay, guys, Mr. Cummings have explained it in answer over and over. We're not going to waste our time on it. Mr. Cummings is not, and he was never, and he will never be. And I will not even support gay, whether you like it or not. I don't care. But the fact of the matter, I'm not there to. I'm not against you. But this is what we are. Traditional people. We believe in a woman and a man to marry. So all your gay business, gay, you're sitting right in Liberia there. Why you can't go ask them? Is Darius Dillon a gay? That the question you need to ask, because Darius Dillon was all over the place with Robert Salif and accusing. I'm not accusing him, but you ask Mr. Dillon, is you a gay? Because you are all. You ask Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir, they have a name all over the place when you're playing football. They say Mr. Weir are gay. Mr. Weir sleeping with children. I'm not saying when I'm saying it, but why you want to? Because they don't have nothing on this man. So shame on people who still going around, and shame on Darius Dillon, because the other day I got the information he was in a district sitting with some people and trying to say Mr. Cummings are gay. Shame on Darius Dillon. Mr. Cummings' sweat is in his stomach, and Darius Dillon, if you listen to Mr. Dillon, shame on you. You need to come out publicly and tell the Liberian people the relationship between you and Robert Salif. You need to say that. Going around lying on Mr. Cummings, his sweat is in your stomach, and you will not go away with it. Your God, Mr. Cummings, God will continue to beat you. And you will fail come the 9 years. You will fail as a senator. Shame on you again, Darius Dillon. Shame on you, a lying senator. So, Siddiqui, we can close. But Liberian people, we love you guys. The campaign is on. We got 50 more days to go. 50 more days to not get involved in any violence. Do not get. There's a video trending around with the UP people fighting among themselves. Jeremiah Kun supporter fighting with Joseph Boyka supporter because Jeremiah Kun is so frustrated now. He's spending all the money. It's clear. It's on social media. And I was, why are you recording for? So my Liberian people, it's clear. We must vote them out if we want a better country. Don't let them lie to you. Mr. Cummings is a human being or married man or sweet man that you will ever get to know. That will be on the greatest leader. That do not yell at people. He encourages people when you are around him. He don't show that he's the boss. So Atta and Sidiki, I know we owe, and thanks for the time. And we can close from there.
Okay, folks, so that's how we come to the end of the show. See you on Wednesday on another fascinating show. So the brother will ask a question about.
So, guys, you see, these are some of the things that the people still ask the question. We answer the question, but we're going to just not waste our time on it because people think that we are all stupid people and we can just listen to nonsense that people talk about. Now we're on Facebook. I'm not on the media, but I just made it clear in Liberia that Dillon, who going around, let he answer the question, what between he and Rabbi Salif, what he and Rabbi Salif was doing in the room. Let he answer that question instead of going around lying and you think you're some big time politician that you will lie to the Liberian people. You're a criminal, Dillon. Criminal. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for a great show. I'll talk to you later. And we'll see you on Wednesday, same time, same station. And don't forget, we'll be leaving soon. We got one more month to go. And after that 1 month, the next time you hear my voice, it will be in Liberia, but not tomorrow now. So we stay fighting, we stay doing everything, we stay making preparation. And thanks to those of you who continue to contribute and to our show. And some people contribute, but it said that we shouldn't announce it. And we call some names. But I want to say thank you. And Wanga, Siafa, and damn, I want to make mistake and call names here. And we got a lot of strong supporters. And Andrew Moore, a lot of people that support the general show. Alex, Sis Murata Mo, and Sis Kanga, and Henry. Oh, and I put myself in trouble now. And I put myself in trouble. So I continue to call, But I'm sure we had a great show today. Share the video and like it. Please share it and like it. Don't forget, you can also watch us on YouTube. When you go to Voice Matter, you will see it. If you go to Twitter, you will see it. If you're friends with me on Twitter, if you go to Instagram, it will be there. You go to there's another site I noticed, man. The band carrying, man. What they call themselves? It's some X notification I noticed. Yeah, it carried this. I don't. Okay, this is instant. This is on Instagram. Okay, see this right now. It's playing on Instagram. Yeah. And yesterday we had a cookout for my daughter. She's going to college now, and I will be taking her there today. She got to check in by 1 o'clock. So I got a lot of running around to do. So thank you very much. Have a good day. I love you guys. I can stay out the whole day we talk. You know, when I'm talking like this, I look at sometimes I look at the comments. I feel that we, I love those. And Mr. Yo, oh, thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Yo. They are one of our strong supporters. And my friend Corey, he just donated or projected to us. And I will be taking it. When I take it, I see going to enjoy it. And my boy Corey, he called me yesterday and this is what he's going to do for us. And he's going to send a screen. So we'll be going around and he even trying to see how best we can get a little generator. So we got a lot of things to do. We'll go around in the communities, we'll talk to people, we will play videos for them to see it for themselves. And someday I might go to the studio, but most of the time maybe I might not go to the studio because at least I'll be having an internet, my computer, everything. I'm still trying to get another computer because I can't take this computer from my son. My 3 computers going on. So we get everything right there. We interview people, we talk to people, we'll be broadcasting. And I promise you, because when I get there, I got to talk to Billy. We'll have to we'll carry Mr. Cummings and programs live on radio and Facebook. That is what we're going to be doing. So whenever Mr. Cummings is speaking, it will be live on radio at the same time on Facebook for you people to watch it. So we will try to be places, but I will not be everywhere where Mr. Cummings will be going. But we try by all means to set up there or leave some equipment there. But we'll be prepared. I am prepared. The software is there, the Swiffer, the whatsoever is all there, and we will get to you guys. We'll do everything to give you the play-by-play. We're not going to sit back. I told you when I went to Liberia, you see everything I told you guys. I just saw this report, this survey, and it's fascinating. Everything I've been saying. Now, if it comes down to Joseph Boakai and George Weah, the Liberian people will check Joseph and took Mr. Weah. If it comes down to Weah and Mr. Cummings, the Liberian people, that poll show 57%. Between Mr. Boakai and Mr. Cummings, at 55%. I'm telling you. You see? And listen, when you get a bunch of traitors in the same organizations, they undermine each other. They undermine each other. They are also in conversation with George Weah, Dillon, and Yombly. Watch the movement. This is not nothing hating. They will never support Mr. Cummings against Weah because Weah is already, the CDC people, is not President Weah now, but the seditians and other people are in negotiation with them. They're already taking money. Now, if it come the other way, because they look, listen, let me be honest with you. This election will not end up between no UP and whatsoever. No. Some people say, oh, but why didn't call Tier 1 Gonglo? Listen, you don't expect the name to be on this list. Sarah Beslow came out 2 months ago or 1 month ago to say she contesting. All the other candidates just came out recently. When the people started this thing, and nobody know their names. So everybody was looking at 3 candidates. Tier 1 Gonglo name is on there, but it's way back, nobody asking. But these people went through 20,000 Liberians. 20,000 Liberians in 15 counties. You remember one time on Mike Dabate's show, He talked about it that he went place and he saw these strange people. He said, I saw the people that foreign, they're asking different questions, and, But you see, and the two things we always say, Mr. Barker is popular, but he's not popular more than Mr. Weir. So if that's what the Liberian people are looking for, then we're not in a race. If Liberian people are looking for popularity, we're not part of it. That means it'll be between Mr. Barker, and then let the Mr. Barker people understand that Joshua will win because it's based on popularity. And that is how Mr. Weir won. And do you know why today we have 40% voters and undecided voters? Because of Cummings. If Alex Cummings was not going around the country, we would have 40% of the people stay undecided. Because Mr. Cummings continued to give this message and the people say, So you see, they asked them the question before they came in with the other questions. When they asked the question, if you will vote today, who do you think you will vote for? 22% went to Weir. 20% went to Mr. Barker. Danala. It was always the three. Mr. Cummings got 18%. It's not a spoon pool. What they say? Oh, Mr. Cummings got no 4%. But 40%. Say, I don't know. And when I told you that 40% is not for Weir, it's not even for UP. Because you got the 40% going to vote on the issues, on the real problem facing Liberia. The real problem facing Liberia. So you see, that is how it worked. So when they started asking the next question now, the undecided voters start to pinpoint what they believe in. Who the best person to face the economy? The man who say you for Weir, the undecided added. So if you look at the 18%, and in that question, the undecided went down to 5. So to play the devil advocate, I gave Mr. Cummings the 30%. I don't want to be so bad and say Mr. Cummings took 35% out of the 40%. But if I gave him 40% and 35%, so 35 plus 18, you think how much? I took the math. 35% plus 18. If we take 2 from over there, put in at 20, I'm what? 53%. So, don't you think it's possible that Mr. Cummings can win the election in the first round? Don't you think if the undecided voters actually look at the issues, you think that Mr. Cummings can win the election in the first round? Clear. Will shock you. A lot of surprises. They say who got the most international experience to create jobs, to bring investment? Double digit. Look, let me play for you. Let me let me just read it for you. If you want it, you inbox me your email address or whatsoever, or your WhatsApp number, and I will send it to you so you can read it for yourself. You say we'll leave for what time? Like 11. Yeah, but you say 11. What are we leaving? Okay. You say 11 o'clock. Don't worry, you can't be ready. And that's not it. The problem. What happened? My computer freeze up. So these are some of the things we're talking about. Imagine the people said 20%, 22% will vote for. What job you got to install television in people community or houses? Look, I read lots of books. I don't even have television in my house. For 25 years, I've been here. Tell about your jobs. What? Tell about your job. Damn, I don't understand. What I got to do with what you got to do with my job? What you got to do with my job? I'm not working. You satisfied with that? I'm gonna table my job or what I do. You choose not to get television in your house for 25 years. It's up to you. It's up to you. Wellington, Philip. You know, I know my people. Wellington Philip from Trenton. Wellington Philip is always to JY shop. Wellington Phillips used to work with American Embassy. He's here now. Now all I can tell you about Wellington Phillips. Wellington, you kill me. Then I'll bring out Wellington Phillips. Please, nobody more insult Wellington. I beg you. Just leave Wellington. Nobody should say anything about Wellington. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Alex. That's truth. That's truth. By that time, Mark Jabate, yeah. Okay, I think I got it. Look, this thing here is Okay, guys. They call them the global research consultants. They are groups, international and locally put together to do this survey. But you know, whenever, like I always say, there are 40% of Liberian people who are undecided. But every time polls and spoon through all the other people do their polls, they say Mr. Barker leading one margin. I saw some polls, they say 5,000 motorbikes were in the street. How can you tell? Do you know about 5,000 motorbikes in the street? Tell me, Liberian people not a lie. Going to endorse Mr. Barker. 22% of the 20,000 that the people went through, 22% say they will vote for President Weah. 20% say they will vote for Mr. Barker. 18% say they will vote for Mr. Cummings. And now what been happening? It was always first, second, third. And we never hide it. We never hide our thing. Only one or two will win it because on that. But this is what we look at. It's the 40% that say, undecided. I told you all the time, I say undecided voters do not go to no ruling party. Then the same people they ask you, they ask, and after they answer that question now, they ask the second question. Who do you think can better do the job of president of Liberia if elected? 15% say President Weah. The same people who say President Weah will vote. So you notice something here? And we told you that CDC and CDC numbers are stable. 22% said President Weah, they will vote President Weah. But then, out of that 22%, 15% say he will do better. Mr. Barker, 28% said he will do better. Nala? No, Nala. 20% voted for him, but 28% they increase it. Mr. Cummings got 52% say Mr. Cummings will do better than two of them. But then this is the good thing. I don't know. I don't decide yet. It dropped to 5%. Say, I don't know. So, if I want to be greedy, 35% already agree that Mr. Cummings will do the good job. The undecided voter is on the issue now. The undecided voters are on the issue. So the undecided voters have taken Mr. Barker to 28%. So he was 20% who said I will vote for you. The 20%, now he get 28% to say he will do the job. That means they're actually getting 8 more percent. So out of the people who have not decided, 8% said President Weah and President Mr. Barker will do a good job. Only 8% came from that 40%. Mr. Weah, he won't reduce because he had a thing from 22. It reduced. So when it reduced to 15, that means I will subtract the other ones, the other people from him. If I subtract it to him, it gone back to the same thing. So Mr. Cummings actually takes in 35%. So if Mr. Cummings takes 35%, that means 52%. You know what I'm saying? He gave Mr. Cummings 52%. So it's possible Cummings to win the election in the first round. Sedisha will not talk about it. UP will not talk about it. They will never talk about it. And if they won't talk about it, they will lie. They will not talk about it. Then they ask the question again. They say, who do you think has a better chance of winning this election based on financial resources being spent? Y'all listen. Who do you think? Because I jumped this one here. They say, who do you think has a better chance of winning these elections based on financial resources being spent? That two different because it will come, soccer will be. They say President Weah President we are 40%. He got the money, 40%. He got the country money. The second person is Mr. Cummings with 35%. Mr. Bwaka with 15%. I'm not too sure that 10%. It dropped. So, I would say money play election. Money, if you're doing election, you need money. This is not no hard. It don't mind you people say we ain't get money. Oh, you put a lie. You need money to go around, to go all in the communities to talk to everybody. You need money. You need money to do that. So if that only money issue they're looking at, then it will be between Mr. Weir and Mr. Cummings in the second round. That is what, because Mr. Still, listen to, then how can President Weir say he get 52% when this poll, all the way he get money, is still talking to 40% instead of 50%. So my seditious brother, y'all call me sedition too now. Because Mr. Cummings say my sedition brother, all of y'all get first. And when Mr. Benedict says sedition brother, y'all say in the middle of sedition. How can Mr. Weir win 50% plus 1 when you're going around? They spend all the money, he still never reached. He went to 40. So you see, he never won all over 40. How can he win? Then you got another one there. You feel on number 3. Then you come to number 4. Popularity. They say Mr. Bwaka popular than Mr. Cummings. That's true. Mr. Weir popular than Mr. Bwaka. That's true. So if the Liberian people only going to look at popularity, then you're the UP people, you shouldn't waste our time, because you know what? You will not stay win. Mr. Popularity, Mr. Weir he more than 50, he 40. After the poll went through the 20,000, Mr. Weir still came to 40. He not even more than 50. So how can he win the first round? Mr. Bwaka got 30. 30. But if 2 of them come together, can Mr. Bwaka get 50? No. Mr. Weir can get 50. Because according to the same record, they say when they come together one-on-one, Mr. Weir will still win. So you see, my Liberian people, this is what we're talking about. This is what we've been saying a long time. Then they said number 5. Who do you trust to better manage and grow the economy if elected? And they said they will vote Mr. Weir or they will vote Mr. Bwaka. But then they asked and said, but who you trust? The simple who said are going to vote. The Joe Weir people, 22% voted for Joe Weir. 12% say, I trust the guy, man. 12% say, I trust the man. 10% from his people that voted for him say, I mean, I trust that guy. Although I just let him man or to vote for him, I just let him, but I trust him. Oh, it went down to 12%. Then they asked Mr. Bwaka. They say, you trust Mr. Bwaka? They say, who you trust? Mr. Bwaka got 28% again. So Mr. Bwaka pick up 10%. They say they trust him. Still him more than 30. When it came down to Mr. Cummings, 52% say they trust Mr. Cummings. And the people who say, I don't know, they went to 8%. Question 6. Who do you think will provide more jobs and employment for Liberians if elected? They were looking for a job. Look here. Oh God. They pull they lie on nothing. 22% voted for Joe Weir. Stay in win. Out of the 22%, 10% say Joe Weir will create job. And at the 10% they're talking to, they say Joe Weir not create job. 12% of the people who voted for president, we are saying, man, I'm making a great job, man. I just love the man all about voted for him. Mr. Bwaka, 25%. He added 5% on it. The undecided voters are 5%. Mr. Cummings got 60%. Mr. Cummings will win the election in the first round if we don't be careful. If we don't be careful, he will win in the first round. This is not 100%, but I want to read it for you so you will understand what we really need in Liberia. Only in Liberia, we vote for popularity. And only in Liberia, we vote because I just love the way the guy can talk. So I vote for him. I just love the way the guy can talk. Question 7. Who do you think has more governmental experience? You ask one Liberian man, Joseph Bwaka has been there for 42 years. He got a government experience. Who else again? That George Weah. Who else again? Ellis Cummings got 10%. He never worked in government. But because you got governmental experience, that means you're supposed to be president. We got people who've been working in government for 30 years. They still working there, civil servant. Why you ain't going to look for them to vote for them too? Governmental experience do not give you presidency. The people must work for it and show the people what you want to do. Mr. Bwaka said, he's not going for debate. Though. I challenge him, and I challenge any UP people. If Mr. Bwaka ain't go for debate, he on his own. Then they say, who will you trust with your country money and natural resources? That is, listen, you. After the poor finish doing it, say, okay, let me ask you. Among the 3 people there, who you will trust with the country money and the resources? That means, who do you think is corruption free? Because before I get you trust you, that means you can't steal. The same people who voted for Weah, 5% say they trust President Weah. 18%. 18 say 5%. Yeah. I think about 19%. He had 22. I'm sorry. No, 17%. He had 22. 18%. Only 5% say they trust the man. 22 voted for him. Out of the 22, only 5 say they trust him, my man. Me, I don't trust that man. The 5% that trust the man, that's Samuel Twe, and Nathaniel Maggie, Bill Tuare, and Fasa Gray, all his officials that who stealing, and Jefferson Koji. These are the people that trust Mr. Weah with the country resources. 5%. 5. Then, Mr. Bwaka, 20%. 20%. He had 18%. He had 20%. The exact people who voted for him trust him. You're listening. The exact number of people that voted for president for Mr. Bwaka that he will be president. That the amount of people, 20% say we trust the old man. Tala. Hey, you don't trust the old man? I will call my friend near again because he laid my complaint. All was say he did something to me. They call him Victor Kaiser. That Dr. Kaiser, he supporting Bwaka. He has said trust Mr. Bwaka. The people that are supporting Bwaka right now, they all trust Mr. Bwaka. They ain't lying. But according to the 20,000, they think that one represent 20,000. 20% voted for Mr. Bwaka that he will win. And the same 20% say they trust the old man. But guess what? The people that trust Mr. Cummings, the 70%. So, nobody from UP Now I can tell you, Mr. Cummings took all the something there. Mr. Cummings took the CDC voters, the 22% have voted for Mr. Cummings, for Mr. Bwaka, for Mr. Weah. 5% stayed there, the rest went to Mr. Cummings. Because the people who say, and I know the 5%. So 30% left from there, 35% left from that 40. John with the CD share, who still trust Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings gets 70%. What we're looking for, we're looking for somebody who will stop the stealing for us to vote. The independent voters are the one who will make the difference. I would not be surprised when Mr. Cummings win the first round. My only surprise here would be to see Joseph Bwaka and George Weah in a second round. It will be my only surprise. Because I don't think they will be there. I really want to see that Donald Trump miracle. I really want to see it. But it will not happen. It can't happen. It can't happen. 70%. Now the undecided voters went down to 5. From 40, they came to 5. They are the one deciding now. If they will vote on the issue, they are the one deciding. So it will not be on the ballot to say who will create job. Let me make you to understand. But in their minds, they are undecided because these are the issues that they want to look at. And these are the issues that Mr. Cummings prophesying. These are the issues that Mr. Cummings talking about. How we'll create job, how we'll do this. But they already know in their mind that Mr. Cummings can do this. But they just need more explanation. That's all. That's all. We will take lead in the first round. We'll win the first round. I'm telling you. You are right. Now look at this one here. Who do you believe has international contact to bring investment in the country? And you say, President, we are playing football. And you say, President, we are get all the contact. They see 22% have voted for President We are. Only 5% say they make a bring job. That 5% are Samuel Twain, Nathaniel Magee, Jefferson Koji, Fina Bono, Health Minister, Finance Minister, all these people. But 17% of George Weah, 22. They say, man, I just voted for that man because I like him. But American bring no job in the country. They may bring it before you bring it now. But that's the fact. President Weah got record. That's why the people that want you losing all these things. So 17% left from Mr. Weah. They say, look there now. And Mr. Bwaka, 20% voted for Mr. Bwaka. Now Mr. Bwaka, with the international contact, even his own people that voted for him, they say Mr. Bwaka, 15%. 15% chances of him bringing job. 5% left from them. They left from behind him. The 5% are left from behind him. They went back to undecided votes that make it now the undecided are 5%. So the entire 40% plus we are 17%. Mr. Cummings got 75%. Who with the international contact that can convince businesses to go to Liberia? Ellis Cummings got 75%. This election full of surprises. God. Make it to all. The 5% I left from Mr. Boaka, they ain't go to Mr. Cummings. They ain't go to Mr. Cummings. The 5% are the same people who supported Mr. Boaka, but they still trust Mr. Boaka, but they only supporting Mr. Boaka because they want small thing. So they ain't go to where they just stay by themselves. Me, I'm not voting. Me, I'm not too sure that paper, but I'm looking for Cummings and I'm sure. Swear to God. Now, you look at this one. Ain't I always be talking it? They say, who will you vote for if we are in Boaka go for the second runoff? They have 22% to Joseph to Mr. Weir. In this one, 55% say they will vote for Mr. Weir. 30% say they will vote for Mr. Boaka. The people that say I will not vote is 15%. So when you subtract 15 from 40, all these people then they spread out, including the Alex Cummings, 18%. They all spread out. Some will vote for Weir, some will vote for Boaka. Some people say, I'm not voting. I would not vote. Ain't I been saying it before? Because that is the message that the people giving. Don't mind Facebook. Don't mind Dylan. They come on Facebook to lie to you. Spoon lying. Spoon will never go through. Spoon will never go through this thing here. Yeah, I want to pour my own thing now. Spoon will never go through these things. Never, ever. They will not talk about it. It's on there. It's free. Then they say, hey, Mr. Boaka got 35% against your Weir. But I want you had before anyway, less than that 38, at least a drop now. They say between Mr. Cummings and George Weir, 40% say they will vote for Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir never passed 40 before. Against Mr. Cummings or new guy or man with all the ideas better than George Weir. George Weir will get a regular one. Some people from UP will vote for George Weir, some people from UP will vote for us. But the people who say I will not vote is small. 3%. 3% say they will not vote. Honor Mr. Boaka, 15% say they will not vote. You see the difference? I've been saying, I say, the people that will not vote, that Mr. Boaka, he ain't like Mr. Cummings. And Kune, all of them will vote. But more, the people that will not vote are the people in them. So Mr. Boaka, Mr. Cummings beat Mr. Weir by 57%. Then listen, you don't call the radio station. Between Mr. Boaka and Mr. Cummings, I will vote George Weir. My name John Brown from Single, I will vote George Weir. And the same person. My name Peter Paul, I will vote George Weir. You're in a pool. I long been telling you. Then guess what now? Okay, it's possible that two opposition. Because when you look at the poll, you can tell that it's possible that two opposition can meet. Between Mr. Boaka and Mr. Cummings. George Weir did better against Mr. Cummings because he got 40%. Mr. Boaka will get 35%. Guess what? Wait, against Mr. against Mr. Weir, Mr. Boaka had 30%. Against Mr. Cummings, Mr. Boaka is 35%. Which other people still thinking that, okay, I will still stay with UP. So he bumped up. Then Mr. Cummings came to 55%. But 10% say, I will not vote. 10% say, I will not vote. That 10% are from somebody else, maybe from CDC or whatsoever. but they come down to 10 instead of 40. So you see them. So when we're talking about Mr. Cummings will win the first round, that is what we're talking about. We will win the first round, my people. Don't just put in the work. We still doing it. What's up, Toba? How's everything? Yeah. Hey, Wellington, man, stop making all kind of stupid comment here. Look, why you keep jumping rope? Never look at what you lost. Look at what you have left. Wellington, as a Nigerian, he said in Nigerian male that grew up in Liberia, never look at what you lost. Look at what you got left. I got better life, and what? Okra is called sour belly. Wellington full of shit. Okay, guys, y'all have a good day. God bless you, and we'll continue the campaign. We'll stay on the air. Bye for now.